CTV's Washington Bureau Chief Joy Malbon is with us. Okay, Joy, this was the focus of Donald Trump's final cabinet meeting of the year. How did Pete Hegseth defend his actions?
Well, Sandy, no apologies from this White House. As you said, they are facing growing accusations of these possible war crimes after striking the remains of an alleged drug boat while survivors hung on to the wreckage. Pete Hegseth authorized the strikes, but both he and the president, Donald Trump, say they didn't know about the second hit. Hegseth blamed the fog of war and said he personally did not see the survivors because he left the room before the second hit was carried out by his Navy commander. Now, the Washington Post reported that the admiral was following orders from Hegseth to, quote, kill everybody. President Trump says he wants those boats taken out. Have a listen.
As I've said, and I'll say again, we've only just begun striking narco boats and putting narco terrorists at the bottom of the ocean because they've been poisoning the American people. And Joe Biden tried to approach it with kid gloves and allowed them to come across the border. Cartels take over community, 20 million people, hundreds of thousands of Americans poisoned. And President Trump said, no, we're taking the gloves off. We're taking the fight to these designated terror organizations. And it's exactly what we're doing.
Okay, Joy, as you said, Pete Hegseth definitely not toning down the rhetoric. Now he's even roped in Franklin, a much-loved Canadian children's book character. What is all that about?
Sandy, Canadians are not amused over the violent use of this beloved cartoon character, Franklin the Turtle. Pete Hegseth dressed Franklin up in military gear and had him aiming a rocket launcher at alleged narco boats in a social media post. Now, the publisher says the turtle stands for kindness, inclusivity, and they strongly condemned any violent or unauthorized use of Franklin's image that contradicts these values. Now, this is not the first time that the Trump administration has used copyright material without permission. Just ask Neil Young and the Rolling Stones.
Okay.
Sandy?
All right, Joy, thank you for this, as always.